On the spot news media, we got the latest news. We don't care about the views, we just representing right. Put local news internationally every night. On the spot, wave that Jamaican flag from left to right. Let's get it right, y'all know the type. We ain't dealing with the hype. We make it take flight.
Yeah man, my viewers and subscribers, what go on. A blessed and wonderful Monday morning to each and every person out there tuning into On The Spot News Media. Now, my peeps, I don't know how we do it over on this side each and every morning. We have to give thanks and praise to the Most High Creator for the preservation of life, because life is indeed the greatest. So in the morning, my peeps, I have a few stories to share with you, the regular members of Chan Public and also members of the diaspora. So please like the video, share the video, watch the entire vlog so you can get a full understanding and a better appreciation of everything we are going in Jamaica. So watch this now, my peeps, in the morning, yeah. We're going to kick it off with some more updates as it relates to the Cherry Tree Lane massacre over there in Four Parts, Clarendon. Now, the first thing that we're going to talk about is the little brother known as Steve Smith, aka Tika or Flybrain. Now, his friends and family members are coming out refuting the claims of the police that there was indeed a shootout when they accosted him. Now, they are stating that, hey, no knockings and clappings never go on between him and them. Them literally just come in and murder him, brawling. They are also stating that on the night of the Cherry Tree Lane massacre, he was not there. They're saying that he was at a football match, and eyewitnesses can prove that he was not there. Now the police are saying one thing, the residents are saying the other. Now for those who missed this vlog presently on your screen, please go back and watch this vlog, as it will give you a more detailed layout of the whole thing and all the persons involved in the Cherry Tree Lane knockings and clappings. There are also other vlogs related to this one. Go back and watch them if this is the first time you're watching a vlog in relation to the Cherry Tree Lane knockings and clappings. Now I'm going to play for you a voice note that has been making rounds on social media from the family members and friends, those who are close relations to the now deceased Steve Smith, as they give their account of the knockings and clappings. Well, the alleged knockings and clappings that is now under investigation by Indicom, that the police states that, hey, there was a shootout. Residents are saying no. Anyway, listen.
Policeman hold him in a shot bag, yeah, so no gun, no nothing. When they call him back, me bow, and me say, I legal firearm, then fire one out tight for say a shootout. Yeah. Him have one little blue marina and one little black shots could almost become underpants when dead enough. That can't hold up on our way. When they kill him in a van, then tear off the marina of him when they kill him, because they have him a grung all about a tap in him head. Oh, you have somebody a grung all about a tap in their head. That means he surrender by now then. Even if you claim saying they have a gun, that the story don't make no sense.
No hold him. If him do anything, if you don't want him, we no hold him. Carry me up because him just like, I just want to something say, you know. Me say carry me in, man. We no kill him. Do me a beg, we no kill him, carry me in. And then stand up, then stand up in our neck. Me see one of them. And then it's like, me go down on him. Because he hold me, you know, hold on to me tight, very tight. Because he now let me go. And then pull him and pull me straight out. When me reach right round there, so me hear one shot. And me say, Lord, then kill him. And me no go back round there.
So you claim to say you suspect him, carry me in, for you hold him. And not ask me if you hold him. Me see when they hold him came right here, so. And the police draw him back, so.
I say, shoot him, shoot him.
Right? Draw him back. And like he asks him, say, what if you do with him? And the other one say, kill him.
Now, when you hear it for yourself, my peeps, that is the cries from the family members and friends of the now deceased criminal element. Presently on your screen, Steve Smith, aka Tika, or Flybrain. They are refuting the claims of the police that there was a shootout. Them I say a straight murder. Yeah, man. Now I just want to clarify something, that this video presently on your screen that has also been making rounds on social media, stating that Steve Smith is among these 3 criminal elements. No, he's not. Somebody in the video just slightly look like him, but it's not him. These criminal elements are criminal elements from the One Umbrella gang in Clarendon. Yeah, man. I featured this gang some years ago on this channel for those who have been following on the Spot News Media for quite some time. And still in relation to the Cherry Tree Lane massacre. This criminal element here, presently on your screen, identified as Dushan Smalling, aka Snowman, has turned himself over to the police. Now it is said that Snowman was one of the drivers in that knockings and clappings along Cherry Tree Lane. So he heard his name circulating and turned in himself to the police. Now there is another criminal element who I wish to highlight to you also. This criminal element presently on your screen identified as Omar Campbell. Omar Campbell also played a role in that knockings and clappings. Now on the other hand of things, a criminal element identified as Tuffy Lee. Again, you need to go back and watch that comprehensive vlog that I carried about the whole happenings in the Cherry Tree Lane massacre. Now I mentioned a criminal element known as Tuffy and one known as Tuffy Lee. Now this is Tuffy Lee presently on your screen. And Tuffy Lee is the one who is in the confrontation, now turned deadly, with the criminal element identified as Beanie. Now they are the ones who are beefing. So one by one, man, we are going to push out every single person who is involved in that Cherry Tree Lane knockings and clappings. But the thing that is going to make it really hard to crack this case and get it down to the T is simply this. They were all friends. And you see, when friends turn enemies, it creates a lot of confusion for the person who is on the outside looking in. So Snowman, we know that you were also the trigger man behind the fatal knockings and clappings of the soup vendor. I'm pretty sure persons related to Larado will never ever forget that day when his life was taken by the Phase 2 bus stop right across from Starlight Plaza in Hayes. We know that Snowman was contracted by Soap Linton, And he got that contract by Suplinton through White Knight link. So a be a program are running at the place. And when you trace most, if not all, of the Clarendon fatal knockings and clappings, it linked back to Tuffy, where they are prison, White Knight, where they are prison, or Black Azan, where they are prison. Because of them have the little knockies and clappies them on the ground. So anybody want anybody to get dirt, link one out of them 3 man there, and them send them little tuggy if go carry it out. So an entire parish is being held hostage simply because of 3 criminal elements who are behind bars. So Snowman, we know which part you're linked the right now. Linking with White Knight, of course. Boy, may I tell you my peeps. The thing rough. And still in the parish of Clarendon, a female end up lose 3 pints a few nights ago. She's presently on your screen, and she has since been identified as Faye Cleghorn, but she's known in the streets as Sheema. She's from the Bucks Common community in Clarendon. Now Clarendon is presently under a public state of emergency, and the fatalities continues. We now go to not the security forces for it, because Clarendon is a very big parish and they don't have the manpower and resources to man the entire parish as how they would like to. So we now go to knock them, say knockings and clappings still are going in a Clarendon whilst it is under a public state of emergency. Now, the Maypen police are now saying that sometime around 9:15 p.m. on Friday, residents heard loud explosions and alerted the police. Upon the arrival of the police, the female known as Faye Cleghorn, aka Sheema, was seen lying along the roadway in her community with a portion of corner wounds all over her upper body and head. She was, however, assisted to the hospital in a bid to save her life, but she was pronounced you know what upon arrival. The Maypen police states that they have no motive for her fatal knockings and clappings as yet, but they are presently investigating. Now over there in the neighboring parish of Manchester, a 19-year-old identified as Javain Muir, but more popularly known in the criminal underworld as Bududup, said to be a farmer from Kendall district in Manchester, is now facing multiple gun charges following the fatal knockings and clappings of a 36-year-old woman identified as Kenisha Forbes. Her fatal knockings and clappings took place on Wednesday, the 1st of May, in the parish of Manchester. Now, Bududup has been charged with her loss of life. He was also charged with conspiracy to murder. He was also charged with shooting with intent, unauthorized possession of ammunition, and unauthorized possession of a prohibited weapon, and using a prohibited weapon to commit a felony. Now, reports reaching on the Spot News Media is that sometime around 12:48 p.m. on the 1st of May, it's a Wednesday, Miss Forbes, that's Kenisha Forbes, was at her place of employment when she was pounced upon by the criminal element identified as Javain Muir, aka Bududup. It is said that the man brandished a firearm and requested money before he opened gunfire, hitting her in her head. It is also stated that the criminal element Bududup escaped in the area on foot. Police officers were called to the scene of the crime after residents saw the criminal element running from the scene. She was, however, assisted to the hospital where she was pronounced you know what whilst undergoing treatment. So on Wednesday, August 14th, detectives following several leads arrested Javane Muir, aka Bududup. He was subsequently charged on Thursday, August 15th after a question and answer session. His court date is yet to be finalized. So another decent spot of work right there. So let's watch and see how this one will play out in the courts. Yeah, man. Now the next thing that we're going to talk about is a dunkings and clappings that took place in the St. Catherine North Police Division, where a man on bail for a fatal knockings and clappings was taken out in a hail of bullets and another man seriously wounded. Now that took place shortly before daybreak in a relatively short distance away from the Yuatan police station in St. Catherine. Now the deceased man is presently on your screen identified as Andre Doyle, but more popularly known in the criminal underworld as Cruz. He's said to be from a Clark's Avenue address in Yuatan, St. Catherine. Now the other young man, also from Clark's Avenue, have been seriously injured and is presently hospitalized. It is said that his wound is not considered life-threatening. Now, the Jamaica Constabulary Force stated that reports from the Yuatan police are that sometime around 3:15 a.m., Doyle and another man were talking outside when a lone criminal element walked up to them. It is said that the criminal element brandished a firearm and opened gunfire at them before fleeing the area on foot. The police was summoned and the criminal element identified as Andre Doyle, aka Cruz, was seen laying face down in a pool of red substance leaking from his body. It is said that he lost his life, same place, on the spot. It is said that he had run-ins with different people in the area and was facing a murder charge. He was also on a hold on and take charge that took place in January of 2015, where a 16-year-old girl identified as Cleo Lisa Griffiths hold on and take Guan and him use a knife to inflict several wounds all over her upper body, leaving her lifeless. It is said that she was traveling to her home in her community from a wake that was being held when the atrocity took place. Now, this criminal element, nobody no miss him. Trust me, one less for the community deal with. Now, the police just need to find the Nakis and Clappis. So clap this Nakis and Clappis and clap him away. Yeah, man. Now, over there in the St. Catherine South Police Division, a double knockings and clappings go on in a Gregory Park. Yeah, man.
Portmore, Gregory Park to be exact. Double murder. Double murder. Scene currently big process. Don't know the motive, but there's a double murder right as we speak. Gregory Park, Portmore, St. Catherine.
Now a double fatal knockings and clappings took place yesterday evening, that's Sunday evening, in Gregory Park, St. Catherine. It has resulted in the fatal knockings and clappings of 2 and left another seriously injured. The deceased man presently on your screen has since been identified as 29-year-old Kemar Williams, otherwise known as Leon, but some people call him Ghetto Bear in the streets. Said to be a tire repairman from Main Street in Gregory Park, St. Catherine. And another man identified as Odaine Beale. The third man, said to be seriously injured, is reported to be a taxi driver and also a bar operator. Now, according to reports reaching on the Spot News Media, is that sometime around 2:45 p.m., the 3 men were engaged in conversation and drinking when a grey motor car approached the group. It is said that 2 armed criminal elements exited the vehicle and immediately opened gunfire, hitting them all over their bodies. It is said that Williams, that's Kemar Williams, was struck in the upper body, whilst Odaine Beale sustained some corner wounds to his hip, to his thigh, and also to the back of his head. The victims were rushed to the Spanish Town Hospital where Williams and Beale was pronounced you-know-what upon arrival, and the taxi driver, who was also seriously conned up, has been admitted in serious but stable conditions. Detectives on the scene recovered 19 9mm spent casing, and several bullet fragments was also recovered from that scene. The investigation into that deadly attack is presently ongoing. So boy, may I tell my peeps, the knockings and clappings continues. So anyway, my peeps, remember to like, share, subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned to On The Spot News Media as I continue to bring you fresh news and updates in subsequent newscast. On The Spot News Media. Yeah, man.